Hello, welcome to PHU Biology. Today we're going to talk about cell biology, specifically the organelles that function within a cell. Let's start by examining the simple prokaryotic cells before moving into the more advanced eukaryotic cells. What we have here is a diagram of a basic prokaryotic cell, which is easily identified by its unique, almost oval shape and the lack of membrane-bound organelles. As you can see, inside the cell we have the nucleoid region. The nucleoid region is the region that stores genetic information, or DNA and RNA, within the cell. Notice it is not contained within a nucleus like a eukaryotic cell. We also have ribosomes within a prokaryotic cell. Ribosomes act as the protein synthesizers. Now, the ribosomes of a prokaryote are actually smaller than a eukaryote, and we call these ribosomes 70S ribosomes. The cytoplasm of a prokaryote is surrounded by a plasma membrane right here, as well as a cell wall above it. Both serve to support the cell and give it shape, but the plasma membrane is mostly used to control the flow of substances in and out of the cell, while the cell wall provides the cell with strength and rigidity. The outer layer of the cell is the capsule, which protects the cell from being engulfed by eukaryotes and helps the cell in spreading disease. On the surface, we see the pili. These small hair-like projections help the cell interact and communicate with their environment. Finally, we see the flagellum. The flagellum aids the cell in locomotion. What we're looking at now is a eukaryotic animal cell. Let's start by examining the nucleus, this structure that houses DNA and RNA, genetic material for the cell. This structure has a double membrane surrounding it known as the nuclear envelope. This dark circle in the center of the nucleus is the nucleolus, which houses proteins and ribosomal RNA. Now we refer to the inside of the nucleus as nucleoplasm. The nucleus is connected to rough endoplasmic reticulum, or rough ER. We call it rough because there are ribosomes attached. Rough ER modifies and produces proteins, and we see a lot of rough ER in any glandular or secreting cell. We also have smooth endoplasmic reticulum, or smooth ER, which helps with the detoxification of alcohol. This is why our liver cells have so much smooth ER. Now let's talk about ribosomes in eukaryotes for a second. Just like prokaryotes, these ribosomes are made of amino acids and ribosomal RNA and are non-membrane bound. But these ribosomes will be larger than in prokaryotes and are given the 80S designation for this reason. Eukaryotes also have a Golgi apparatus, which is the shipping center of the cell. Golgi modifies and packages proteins to be secreted. Let's see. We also have the cytoskeleton, which is made up of 3 parts. The microtubules are like the roadways within the cell, which allow transport throughout the cell itself. Microfilaments contribute to cell motility, which allows the cell to change shape when needed. Lastly, we have intermediate filaments, which hold the membrane-bound organelles in place and aid in cell structure. An organelle which may be new to you is this right here, the peroxisome. The peroxisome simply allows the cell to break down hydrogen peroxide, H2O2. We can also see the mitochondria right here, here, and even here. The mitochondria are the powerhouses of the cell, meaning they make energy in the form of ATP. These are double membrane structures, like the nucleus, and their internal fluid is known as the matrix. They have their own DNA, which is actually circular, and their own small 70S ribosomes. Like a prokaryote, they are about the same size, and they even divide on their own. These cells are surrounded by a semi-permeable plasma membrane, and plants will actually have a cell wall around their cells as well. Eukaryotes also have centrioles right here. The centrioles form mitotic spindles to aid the cell in dividing. They stretch with the cell during cell division. We also have lysosomes right here, which can break down all organic material with hydrolytic enzymes. They're essentially the cleaning crews of the cell. And lastly, eukaryotes can have a flagellum, which again aids in locomotion. Just quickly before I wrap up, we should talk about plant cells. There's only slight differences between plant and animal cells. One of these differences is a rigid cell wall. Plants are surrounded by cell walls for structure and support, while animal cells do not have these. You also see these green organelles, called chloroplasts. Like mitochondria, they are surrounded by a double membrane, have their own ribosomes and DNA, are the same size as prokaryotes, and divide on their own. We call the internal fluid of a chloroplast the stroma, and through photosynthesis, chloroplasts make sugar for the plant. Lastly, animal cells only have a small vacuole, but plants have a very large central vacuole, which stores water and other nutrients, and gives the plant cells that unique shape by swelling up. Well, that about sums up our first lesson focused on cell biology. If this video was helpful, please leave a like. You can leave a comment with any additional questions you may have, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to see more AP and IB biology videos. From PHU Biology, thanks for watching.